Shalom. Shalom. Give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for their edification and knowledge. And the Wadi Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, for putting the spirit of the elders and apostles so we regarding this truth and knowledge, so we can become edified regarding this truth and knowledge. Call holy Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakadash. Give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakadash. We'll go to Lamentations 4 and 17. It's numbers 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed, for our vain help in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not help us, man. This relates to the degradation of Zion, man. In relation to the nation of Israel, because of their, they were in a very destitute and desolated state, and pretty much a destitute state, man. They were in a very bad state of condition, man. And a few verses up, I'm going to read, I'll start at 14. They had wandered as blind men in the streets, and they had polluted themselves with blood, so that men could not touch their garments. They cried unto them, Depart, ye unclean, depart. Touch not, when they fled away and wandered. They said among the heathen, They shall no more sojourn there. And the anger of the Lord have divided them, and he will no more regard them. They had ultimately sinned against Yahweh Shem Yahshua, so they've been punished, man. So they were put in a hellish state and condition, man. So no one can help them, man. And the anger of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua have divided them, and he will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not of the elders. Now that part is, the Lord divided them, he will regard them no more. So the Lord cut them off, man. Jeremiah 17 and 9, cut thy hair, let's get it. Jeremiah 17 and 9. 17 and 4. Shalakia 17 and 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. The heritage relates to, because there are people before a place. There are people first in a place. So what caused them to be discontinued? Ultimately, because they transgressed against the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So he wanted no dealings with the nation of Israel because of their transgressions, their continuous transgressions, their perpetual, continuous transgressions. So he discontinued them as a nation, man, relating to their heritage, relating to their heritage as a people, and of course of a place as well. That's Deuteronomy 17 and 4. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. Let's go to I'll go a few verses down. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's the heart, man. The heart is the mind is the heart. So it's, by nature is wicked, man. And this flesh is naturally wicked as well, man. For the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, man. Why is it weak? Because it's prone to sin, man. It's carnal. So the heart is desperately wicked. So that mind is desperately wicked. That mind and heart is desperately wicked, man. Because ultimately sin, you know what I mean? Sin is caused sin, caused that wickedness, man. You know. Let's go to go to Deuteronomy 49:50. Deuteronomy 49:50. Now, the nation of Israel, they were we'll read verses. Deuteronomy 28 talks about the curses. Give you examples of the curses. Because the nation of Israel, the reason why they were under the state and condition they were, because ultimately they transgressed against the Lord. So he punished them, and part of that consequence was examples of curses that will come upon them relating to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, man. Let's go to 49. The Lord shall bring a nation. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from read it again. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. Now the eagle represents symbolically Greek. Aquila, Greek, and that's a bird that sails higher than pretty much the rest of the birds. It sails very high, and symbolically that's Edom. Edom represents that eagle, man. As an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, because they never known this language. They also never known the land that they come, which is the next one. A nation of a fierce countenance, which is appearance, which shall not regard persons of old, nor shew favor to the young. So this fierce nation with a fierce countenance is not going to regard anyone who's of old or young. So they're not going to have no regard or be respecter of persons regarded old or young. Go to I'm going to go to Psalm 68. Psalm 68 and 20. He is our God. He is the God of our salvation. That's Yahweh B'Shem Yashah, man. Into the God the Lord belongs the issues of death. Point is, the Lord is Yahweh B'Shem Yashah is the nation of Israel's savior, man. That's their salvation, man. Through Yahweh Shai, man. That's their redeemer, the deliverer, man. Go to what's the other one? I'll do Proverbs 3, 5, and 7. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him. He shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. So fearing the Lord by doing what's necessary and depart from evil, man. Depart from the things that's contrary against what you're supposed to be doing, man. Go to say trust in the Lord. That's have faith. Now the majority of the nation of Israel, they didn't trust in the Lord. They didn't fear the Lord. They didn't part from evil, man. And that's why certain things are happening to them, past tense, all the way to currently now, man. Because they didn't do certain things that was required of them to to do, that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua wanted them to do, man. That works all the way until today, man. Each captivity, man. Go to Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. I'm just reading off top of my head. So, oppression makes a wise man mad. It would make a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart, man. And many things are propositioned as a gift, but actually that gift is really not a gift. It's really to destroy them, man. And certain things that's going on now would be example to that. Let's go to Psalms 83. This relates to the confederates of the nation against the Lord's people, man. Read a few verses. All right. Start at number 2. For lo, thy enemies will make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel. So they have taken crafty counsel, man. All these nations. And the spirit was put on them to be like that anyway. That's part of the curses, man. So they were made to be subjugated and subjected to these other nations that were going to plan crafty counsel against the Lord's people, man. So that's part of the punishment against the nation of Israel for not being obedient to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. The scripture says obedience is better than what? Sacrifice. That's all the Lord really wants is obedience, man. That's all he wanted from the nation of Israel from the jump, man. Because the Lord has everything. All right, let's get back to number 83. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that have hated thee, they lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, that's the Lord's people, and consulted against the hidden ones. The hidden ones are the Lord's people, because that veil's been covered over them, man. Been put away, tucked away. So no one knows who they really are. 84. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That's what's happened. They cut them off, man. We'll take their place. The ones who said we'll take their identity, we'll take their place of who they are, man. So they've been cut off. But ultimately, they cut themselves off by not disobeying the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. We talk about the nation of Israel. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So it'd be like a memorial, like on a tombstone. That's how the nation of Israel would be, man. They never existed. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, these other nations. Edom, Moab, Ammon, the Hamites, Ishmael, all these other nations that despise the Lord's people, man. They were against the Lord's people from day one, but that's part of the punishment relating to what nation of Israel, what they had to do. That was part of the punishment what they had to bear, man, for their disobedience to the Lord, man, because they disobeyed the Lord, man. So punishment is these other nations would be above them, and they were made to serve them, man. Point is, they were confederate against thee, and they consulted to go against the Lord's people, man. So that was 83. Let's go to 17 and 9, which I read. I'll read it again, though. Jeremiah 17 and 9. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things. It is deceitful. And desperately wicked. That's the heart, man. It's desperately wicked because it wants to do what it wants to do, man. It's innate. It's innate to be a certain have that certain characteristic of being wicked, man. Just like the flesh, man. This flesh, man, is innate. It's innate in wicked, man. In this manner, man. The heart is deceitful above all things, desperately wicked. Who can know it? Now read 10. The Lord search the heart. The Lord searched the heart, and Shalakia. I, the Lord, searched the heart and tried the reins, even gave every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Go to Jeremiah 7 and 8. Jeremiah 7 and 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. So words, lip service that won't profit, don't mean nothing, man. It's vain. It's empty. It means nothing. It won't benefit you. Go to Psalms. I'm gonna go to Psalms chapter 108. Psalms 108. Psalms 108. Psalms 108 and 108 and 12. Psalms 108 and 12. And 12. Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. So give us help in that trouble. Go to the vain is pretty much empty, man. 118, Psalms 118 and 8. Psalms 118 and 8. Psalms 118 and 8. Psalms 118 and 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man, because putting confidence in a man, you're going to be very disappointed. Man will let you down. That's an old saying somebody I used to know used to say that. Man will let you down. So we're supposed to put our confidence and trust in the Lord. Go to Psalms 115 and 9. The nation Israel failed to do that, man. That's why they're in a state and condition. That's why, for example, Isaiah 30 show for they trust in oppression, man. They trust in every other thing than what they're supposed to trust in, man. Because they didn't put their trust and faith in they put their faith and trust in man instead of putting their faith and trust in the Lord, man. So it's better to trust in the Lord than to put your trust in man. as Psalms 118 and 8 states, man. 115 and 9. Let's go to 115 and 9. 115 and 9. 115 and 9. O Israel, trust thou in the Lord. He is their help and their shield. So he's that shield, that buckler, that protector, man. That's their power, man. That's their power source. Go to I'm going to go to, before I get to that, I'm going to go to Psalms. I'm going to go to Psalms 55:20. I'm going to go to Psalms 55 and 20. Psalms 55 and 20, 21. He have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. So, nation Israel, peace relating to the other nations, because the other nation Israel, in this case, would be the Native Americans, for example. They befriended certain people. They're making peace with them, and but he had broken his covenant. He had broken his covenant, which is covenant is their agreement. So they broken their agreement, man, because their intentions were other than what they present optically in front of them, man. So they had more hidden ulterior motive behind their intent. Let's read it again. 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such be at peace with him, and he had broken his covenant, which is agreement. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but in his heart his words were softer than oil. Yet yet were they drawn swords. Let's read it again. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So they were smooth as butter, man. Lip service and lip service, a lot of lip service, a lot of slick talking, man, in the matter of speaking. Read it one more time. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and had broken his covenant, which is agreement. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So he spoke smooth words. He gave good lip service, which he spoke what they probably wanted to hear, but in his heart, he had a more darker interior motive. They had a darker interior motive behind what their agenda was, man. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords, man. So their intention was to hurt, man. War was in their heart, and they want to draw swords. They want to draw swords is pretty much shedding for blood, man. And that's what they did. For example of that is the Native Americans. That's history. Slaughter of millions and millions of them, man. Hundreds of millions of them. But the point is, man, he spoke with smooth words, came at them optically as friendly, but to ultimately undermine them, and destroy them, man. And I'll go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, man. As iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Well, I'll read it anyway. Never trust thy enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So he's created to be a certain way, man. He's created to be wicked. Can a leopard change his stripes? Let's go to 16. 12 and 16 will complement with Isaiah 55, 20 and 21. As an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. So his intention in his heart and his mind is to do certain things, man. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So he might present himself to, like he cares for that. He cares, but that's an act. Reality is just an act. He's performing. But his intention is to do certain things to pretty much, that's not beneficial in the situation for the particular party. If an adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Conveniently, you're going to find him there first, because whether directly or indirectly, he probably was involved in that situation. That's why you conveniently find him there. If the adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, he's an actor. Pretend is acting. Yeah, he shall undermine thee. The reason why he's going to undermine thee, because he has an ulterior motive. He has an agenda. He has a plan in his mind to do certain things, man. And he has to get close to you to ultimately undermine you and overthrow you and take your position. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much, change his countenance, which is his appearance. So he's going to do a 360. He's going to change everything, man. And that's how it was Psalms 55 and 20. They pretended to be friends, but they were never friends, man. They just wanted certain things, and they had to get through them to get it, man. Like I said, they had to undermine them. They had to do what they had to do to ultimately take their position through them. If they had to go through them, they would do that. So never trust thy enemy, man. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 14, 5 and 7. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. He's evil, man. He envies and hates himself. So he has no pleasure in nothing, man. The scripture talks about he stays all night to plan. He stays all night up to plan. I believe that's in Proverbs. Try to get it. He don't sleep, so he doesn't rest unless he's doing mischief, man. Read that again. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. So he really don't want to do it, but he just do it anyway, for whatever reason. But it's not from the heart, man. He just do it. There's a motive behind it, man. It's pretend, like I said, he's pretending, he's acting. Let's read number 7, because that's a good point. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. So he don't want to do it. And at last, he will declare his wickedness. So his wickedness is going to be manifested, be made known. His true intent, his true intentions, man. And we can put that particular verse to the things that's going on today, and ultimately the things that will continue to go on that's not too far away. Without being too, I guess, explicit on manner of what I'm saying. But the point is, he do things willingly, he do things unwillingly. That last verse, he do things, he doeth, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at last he will declare his wickedness. So it's gonna be exposed for his true intention, regardless whether it's presented to look good or not, because you can't hide his wickedness. You never trust our enemy. As iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And you cannot wipe it away, man, because it's going to come back again, man. You can't change for what it is, man. The trait and the true characteristics of what it is. You can't change it. Only the one who created it can change it. That's another deeper lesson. Let's go to Proverbs 4, that verse I was trying to get, number 4. Proverbs 4. This will be the last one. (4:16) For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, that's the wicked, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So their purpose is they don't sleep, they don't rest until they do their agenda, their mischief, their purpose, man. That being said, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yashah Bashim Rakakadash. I hope this helps whoever listens. This is Brother Zayab. The water for listening. Shalom, thanks.